Didn't expect Jackson Chourio to win Rookie of the Year. He did place third. But Tuesday night's award, that should be a unanimous decision right there. We'll get to all that coming up next here on this edition of Locked On Brewers.
You are Locked On Brewers, your daily Milwaukee Brewers podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Yeah, I was looking at all the votes for Rookie of the Year and all that. And, you know, the postseason awards, I don't really get a lot into them like I once did. Like when I was a kid. You just, who was the MVP? Who was the manager of the year and all that? I learned quickly it's more about championships and team than individual awards. Chuck Freeman, Locked On Brewers, part of Locked On Podcast Network. We are your team every day. Not that it's not good winning these postseason awards. And it's something you can hang your head on. At a team like the Milwaukee Brewers, you know, one more thing a player could use to negotiate against them to price them out of the Brewers market. But we don't have to think about that with Jackson Chourio for a while. He's under an 8-year contract. So with Chourio, he placed third, and this was not a situation where, well, the Brewers are in a small market. He got screwed. No, Paul Skeens was going to win Rookie of the Year. Started the All-Star game and just was amazing. Right now, if you were to ask me, would I trade Jackson Chourio for Paul Skeens? I would say yes. I mean, that Skeens is amazing. I mean, we love Chourio and how great Chourio is, but Skeens, if you could trade, hypothetically, if you told the Pittsburgh Pirates, hey, we'll take Skeens, you give us, we'll give you Jackson Chourio. Neither team is making a move. Can you imagine if the Brewers did that? If somehow they made a move like that? I mean, a surprise move? No, they got Chourio for those years. They bought him out of arbitration, and he's here, hopefully, longer than the 8 years or so. But Paul Skeens deserve it. That guy's, I would love to have that guy pitching some postseason baseball for the Milwaukee Brewers or pitching opening day. So Skeens wins it. Merrill, he was second, 24 home runs, batted .292. No surprise there. And then Chourio, who's got the great upside. I think of all those the players here, I mean, they all got great upsides. You can't argue against either one. But Chourio wasn't going to win the award. But, you know, he didn't really take off until June, but that doesn't matter. Skeens was a late addition to his team as well. But, you know, Chourio's the real deal. I mean, sure, there have been players who've been competing for Rookie of the Year awards. The Brewers have had guys who were Rookie of the Year and flopped. Pat Lishdash a long time ago. But Chourio's got an amazing amount of talent. And that didn't bother me one bit that he went Rookie of the Year. And you know what? It will bother me if, even though I said these postseason awards don't mean a hill of beans to me, it will bother me if Pat Murphy is not unanimous. And I'm talking every single vote is not Pat Murphy. And I'm thinking Tuesday night comes after that decision. I might be shaming some of those voters, calling them out. Why you didn't vote for Pat Murphy? Now, if you're going to include the postseason, which they don't, I get it. But regular season, and I'm saying everything points to Pat Murphy. I mean, give me one argument against Murphy. Regular season, give me one argument how Murphy should not get a first place vote. I'd like to know. I am going to mash. I'm not going to call the guy names or anything, but I'm going to try to find out who it was that didn't vote for Murphy if he does not get a vote. I'm sure there's a way I can find out. Okay? But you have to be a complete moron or have your head in the sand or whatever if you don't watch baseball, if you watch baseball and you have a vote for this and you don't give Murphy Manager of the Year. While we're talking about awards, Hall of Fame nominees came out. CC Sabathia. CC's a Hall of Famer. There's no doubt about that. CC's on that list. I don't recall too many other Brewers. There's the leftovers from McGuire and all that, which this is the place for that, to get into that. But no Brewers. But CC did stand out on that Hall of Fame list for 2025. CC, I remember my friend and former tag team partner on the air, Bart Winkler, thought CC's number should be retired based on what he did in 2008, where the Brewers traded for him at the All-Star break, and he was just amazing and pulled, and dragged the Brewers into the postseason. I wouldn't go that far, but CC definitely goes down in Brewer lore. And if you go to the Selig Experience, you see Bud Selig, the Selig Experience over there. You don't see Bud Selig. You see a facsimile of Bud Selig. But if you go over the Selig Experience, when you see the history of the Milwaukee Brewers, CC is in there. I think he's fist pumping. after getting one of his strikeouts. But, CC Sabathia deserves to go into the Hall of Fame. I don't know if he's going to be first ballot, but he'll get in. Great career. And, of course, it'll be highlighted by his days with the Yankees. Did you see CC today? CC today is in amazing shape. He was about 300 pounds when he played, but he got himself post-baseball. He golfs a lot. I don't know. He must have obviously dropped weight, must watch his diet, but good for him, because some baseball players, some pro athletes, when their career comes to an end, they let it all hang out. I mean, they get out of shape, and it's not good for their health. CC went the other way, where when he played, he was the heavy, he was overweight, but his post career, he golfs. Might have saw him on the Golf Channel hitting a golf ball. Just really good. Good for him. Keep himself in shape after his playing days and enjoying life after what is going to be a Hall of Fame career. So that was it. Chourio, no complaints. I will have a complaint tomorrow. I really will have a major complaint if Murphy doesn't win Manager of the Year. But if he's not unanimous, he better be unanimous. I think it's a slap in the face for the Brewers if he's not unanimous. Other than that, like these postseason awards, like I said at the top, I'm all about championships at this point. Yeah, that was great when seeing Robin Yount winning an MVP in 82 and Raleigh Fingers winning an MVP and Cy Young in 1 year in 81. Back-to-back MVPs. Vukovic winning the Cy Young in 82. Robin Yount, the MVP in 89. We've had Rookie of the Years. Okay. Corbin Burns winning the Cy Young. Had all that. And where did that get us? Now, I'm all about championships. Hanging banners right now. These postseason awards. It's what it's all about. These individual awards, Ryan Braun winning an MVP, Rookie of the Year, all that. Yeah, that looks great. That looks great when you put out your brochures in the off season for season tickets. Ryan Braun, Rookie of the Year. Okay. Cy Young, Pete Vukovic. I want to see the trophy. I want a piece of the chip. I want to get further than the first round of the playoffs. I want more than division title flags. You got to start winning playoff series. We're beyond, as a Brewer fan, we are beyond due. Beyond due. All right, we come back. We'll talk about this projected lineup. It's kind of put together a lineup, I think, right now with one hole that the Brewers need to fill, which they could do through trade or free agency. We'll get to all that coming up next. We'll see what you think of my lineup. We're coming right back. Chuck Freeman here on Locked On Brewers. Locked On Brewers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. We are your team every day. Excuse me. FanDuel. All of the NFL action. FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. Right now, new customers, you bet $5, you get $150 in bonus bets. If you win that $5 bet, say you're on Houston on Monday night, easily covered. Well, you bet Houston, you would have gotten $150 in bonus bets in your account from FanDuel. The FanDuel Sportsbook app gives you everything you need to place your live bets on the NFL all in one place. So when you get a hunch in the middle of the game, you can check out the latest stats. It's awesome for live play-by-play. Awesome, because the play-by-play is right there, and you can make your live play. Like I said, when a heavy favorite gets down early in a game, that's when that's my favorite time to play live bets. So just visit FanDuel.com. Join today. You'll get started again with $150 in bonus bets, but you got to win their first $5 bet. Easy peasy. FanDuel.com. Never waste a hunch. Make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the NFL. Chuck Freeman here. I'm Locked On Brewers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. We are your team every day. It's been a rainy day here in the state of Wisconsin. It's always cozy when it's rainy outside and cold and your typical Wisconsin fall day, talking Brewers baseball. So here's what I was doing today. I was kind of looking at the Brewers depth chart, kind of making my own lineup on a lineup I think would be ideal for me. And of course, it could be some tinkering. And of course, on top of that, the Brewers never use the same lineup 2 days in a row. But I looked at like my stock lineup, my lineup I would like to go with most days. And here's what I have. Tell me what you think. I have Jackson Chourio leading off. Okay. And again, there's players who could fit in here. Absolutely. Whether Yelly's a DH or in left field. I'm just talking about guys who are on the order. Where they're going to play, now that always works itself out, whether Yelly's DHing or left field. He ain't playing first base. I know some of you think that he's going to play first base. He's already nixed that idea. So Chourio will be my leadoff hitter. Contreras bats second. Yelich third. So I got Chourio, Contreras, Yelich batting third. And I'd put Rhys Hoskins in my cleanup spot. I want Rhys batting 4. Remember, we don't have Adames right now. Not going to have Adames. So how's that lineup going to look without Adames? I would put Hoskins into 4. Now, my 5th spot in the lineup, this is imperative. This is where the Brewers need to get themselves the 5th place hitter in this lineup. Unless he's better than Hoskins, he's batting the 5th spot, and that would be my 3rd baseman. I'm expecting the Brewers. I never expect the Brewers to do anything except disappoint me in October. I shouldn't say that, but it's true. I'm hoping the Brewers, I'll put it that way, not expecting, hoping the Brewers will get themselves a 3rd baseman, a power hitting 3rd baseman. And I'm not talking about Tyler Black. I'm talking about a bona fide major league 3rd baseman who's going to hit me 30 home runs. That too much to ask for? Yes. Do I want a reclamation project over at 3rd? No, I'm tired of those. But whoever the Brewers pick at 3rd base, because Ortiz is playing short, that 3rd baseman better be a big bopper. And if he's a better home run hitter than Hoskins, we'll put him in the 4th spot. Otherwise, that big fellow over at 3rd is batting in the 5th hole. 6th, I put Garrett Mitchell there. 7th, Ortiz. Then I get down a little further in this lineup. I'd go Frelick 8th and Turang 9th. 2 lefties. Light hitting as far as home runs are concerned. And I know Frelick hit the home run in the playoff game, but still. Frelick and Turang, 8-9. Chourio leading off, Contreras batting second, Yelich batting third, Hoskins fourth, my new third baseman batting fifth, Hoskins sixth, Ortiz seventh, Frelick eighth, and Turang ninth. Now, I don't mind Turang leading off. I don't mind that at all. But I wouldn't mind going with Chourio. Get Chourio in that leadoff spot. I know he was in the heart of the order when Yelich wasn't there because they put him in the heart of the order out of necessity because there was nobody there to drive the runs without the bat of Yelich. I mean, they were using Gary Sanchez in the heart of the order. God bless Gary, but my goodness. They were counting on Gary Sanchez in the heart of the order, and they didn't think enough of him to pick up, which I agree with, the $11 or $12 million on the option of his contract. Yet in the pennant race, we're batting the guy in the heart of the order out of necessity again. So it goes Chourio, Contreras batting 2. I like those guys 1, 2 in my order. Yelich 3, Hoskins 4th, my third baseman 5th, 6th is Mitchell, 7th is Ortiz, 8th is Frelick, and Turang is batting 9th. Frelick and Turang, 2 lefties in the bottom of the order, and then we get to the top of the order. Yeah, and actually 3 of the last 4 hitters in that order: Mitchell, Ortiz, Frelick. But that's just like the projected order. I don't think that's going to happen. I think there's going to be some changes, obviously. And that third baseman could come as a trade. Devin Williams, the names you continue to hear about there. Kansas City, apparently. Maybe Texas. These are all teams that need bullpen help. The Phillies, of course. San Francisco, Arizona. The Cubs, although I would make a deal with the Cubs. The Brewers would never do that. Not a deal of that magnitude, at least. So those are the teams right now. And what's going to happen is there's probably going to be a dark horse team that's going to pick up Devin Williams that we're not talking about. We'll see. But that's where my third baseman's going to come. Not going to be Alex. Now, Bregman, I heard Alex Bregman, Philadelphia is very interested in Bregman. So if Bregman is interested in going to Philadelphia as much as the Phillies are interested in Bregman, that means they would have no use for Alec Bohm, their third baseman, who we talked about the other day. So if they signed Bregman, Bohm expendable, I'd take him here as part of the Devin Williams trade. You got that right, player. Absolutely. You got that right. Absolutely. All right. Willy Adames. Willy Adames. Where's Willie going to go? God, there's like a new team every day you hear about with Willy Adames in the rumor mill. We'll get to that coming up next. Chuck Freeman here. Locked On Brewers, part of Locked On Podcast Network. We are your team every day. Check into the Gametime app if you want to get Bucks tickets, maybe Marquette Badger tickets. Maybe there's a concert or two you want to go to this summer or this winter, rather. It's going to be a long winter, as we know, in Wisconsin. If you live in Wisconsin, Gametime will help you out, getting you the great seats. All in pricing. Toggling in this feature shows you the pricing up front, so you get no surprise fees at the end, which we all love. Seat views. You get a panoramic view on the seat. So all you got to do is punch on the seat, and you're going to get a view of your seat. Lowest price guaranteed, or Gametime will credit you 110% of the discount. Go on there. Beautiful way to the app. You just punch where you want to go and all that, and go online. It's a great way to operate. Gametime ticket coverage. Your purchase is covered. The most flexible coverage, customer service policy in the ticket industry. But you got to download the Gametime app. And here's what happens. If you download the Gametime app, you create an account, use the promo code LOCKEDONMLB. It's Locked On MLB, and you'll get $20 off your first purchase. Again, the terms apply. Create an account, Locked On MLB. After you download the app, Locked On MLB, you pay $80 for tickets. You're going to pay $20 less, so you pay $60. But you got to download the app. What time is it? Gametime. Get your tickets, and I tell you, I swear by it, Gametime is the way to go. Chuck Freeman here on Locked On Brewers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Thank you all for joining me here in November. Yeah, it's a long winter, but I appreciate all the podcast drops. I see it on YouTube and our growing YouTube page. Please hit me up on YouTube. Search Locked On Brewers, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell. That'll alert you every time we drop an episode on Locked On Brewers. You see this beautiful background here, the history of the Milwaukee Brewers. Well, not the complete history. That's on my other wall over there. But programs and credentials of all the games I've covered. Really a picture of me coaching girls high school basketball at Catholic Memorial and Eau Claire Regis back in the day. Not the head coach, merely an assistant. So yeah, please download us on YouTube. Search Locked On Brewers, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell. That'll alert you every time we drop an episode. And please go to our growing YouTube, go to the audio platforms. If you're on YouTube, go to our platforms. We download the audio on Spotify, Google, Apple, every place you get your podcast. We're on all those apps. Anywhere you go, on the internet, on the browsers, on your smartphones, on your smart devices in your house. I'm not going to say the name because it goes off all the time if I even say a name close to it. So your devices, you can have a way where your device can pop up Locked On Brewers every day. So you need to do that. Please tune us in. Locked On Brewers. We are here first with all the news all the time. Didn't mention Davy Garcia, a kid the Brewers picked up, signed to a minor league deal. He's 25 years old, former Yankee prospect. Sounds like he's got a good upside. I have not seen him pitch. I remember him mostly with his days with the Yankees. He pitched this last year with the White Sox, and the White Sox were just such a mess. Do you really count anything that the White Sox did this past year? So he was he was not kept by the White Sox. Now apparently he's got a heck of a sweeper. Okay, just watching tape of him, he's got a heck of a sweeper compared to Pedro Martinez. At least he was when he first came up with the Yankees, about 5'9", shorter, but good stuff. But for whatever reason, at 25 years old, it hasn't worked out. Throws a fastball in the mid-90s, and the feeling is the Brewers see a guy like this who's got some upside, got some talent, got some ability, but has not lived up to that ability or talent just yet. The Brewers feel like with their analytics and their pitching department, which they've done with a lot of guys, they can fix them. We'll see with Davy Garcia, lately of the White Sox, minor league contract. It's worth a chance. I'm not saying this guy's going to be the opening day starter, but get him into camp, get him into your system, get him into your pitching labs, see what's going on there. Again, apparently he's got great stuff. He was one of the top Yankee prospects at one time, dating back to about 2020 or so. But Davy Garcia, that was a move that kind of flew under the radar today in Major League Baseball. Willy Adames, one more thing about Willy. Willy, sounds like the Astros are interested. If that's the case, he's got to play third over there. He's probably going to play third base there with Bregman not returning. That's a nice trade-off. Adames for Bregman. That's a nice trade-off. I'd like to see the Brewers do that same kind of trade-off and get Bregman with the Milwaukee Brewers, but I know that's never going to happen. But a team like the big market Astros can sign a Willy Adames and put him over to third base, but we can't return the favor and sign Alex Bregman. So the Astros, apparently, we're just food for these. We're just fodder for these big markets. God, I hate that. They're like, alligators and sharks. Our players are out there and they just come after them. Oh, we'll take your CC Sabathia. We'll take your Adames. We'll take your Christian Yelich. Oh, no. Well, okay. Well, you're going to resign him. All right. We'll take your Corbin Burns. That baseball structure. God, I don't want to get started on that. All right. We'll see what happens with manager of the year. I'm telling you, I'm going to have a problem if Pat Murphy is not unanimous manager of the year in the National League. I said, well, these postseason awards don't really do a hill of beans, and they don't. But this one will stick in my craw a little bit if he's not only manager of the year, but unanimous manager of the year. It's going to do it. Again, you find our podcast, Google, Spotify, wherever you download your podcast, we are there. Or please hit me up on our growing YouTube page. Want to get to 4,000? Search Locked On Brewers, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell. That'll alert you every time we drop an episode here on Locked On Brewers. And thanks for making us your first listen to every day, Locked On Brewers. I really appreciate it. And of course, I see you around town. I see you at Bucks games, Marquette games, Badger games. I always appreciate you guys talking. I talked to a guy at the store the other day. Said, Locked On Brewers, Chuck. Looking forward to it coming up on Monday. Here you go. Here you go, Roy. I appreciate that. It's going to do it. Your second listen, Locked On MLB. My guy, Sully, he's got all the hot stove action on Locked On MLB. That's your second listen after you make Locked On Brewers your first listen. Chuck Freeman, Locked On Brewers, part of Locked On Podcast Network. We are your team every day. Good day, everybody.